Yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Selamat siang. Yeah. Thank you very much for being with us today. Terima kasih. Thank you very much for being here in Jakarta, in Ancol. And also thank you very much for being attending through the live stream. We have 120 people attending on the live stream as well. Thank you very much, everybody, for taking the time today. We know it's a busy schedule for all of you. It's a Friday, and yet you're coming here. It's a great honor for us. I'm Sam Chauffard. I'm the regional director for ECOCERT, Asia Pacific, and it's our great pleasure to have you today, to be part of the session, to discuss all together and with our great panelists, to discuss about the future of organic and sustainable farming in Indonesia. I'm going to introduce our panelists very soon, but I really wanted to make sure that the sincere thank you on behalf of ECOCERT for you being here with us today. I also want to thank the team of Indonesia Organic Alliance, who helped us with all the technology to have that live stream today. And thank you very much for being our partner for this event. Our CEO, Mr. Philippe Tomaso from ECOCERT, was supposed to be here with us today. Unfortunately, for personal reason, he can no longer make it. He was extremely sad to not be with us today, but yet he wanted with us by heart, and he has a small message and a small video for all of us. We're going to play that video, and I get back to you in the next 2 minutes to discuss more about the details of this afternoon. Terima kasih.
Dear friends and loyal partners, first of all, I would like to thank you for your presence this evening alongside with our Southeast Asian team. I had planned to be with you tonight, but unfortunately some last-minute changes in my schedule made it impossible. Forced with new resources in order to better support you and ensure that your certification journey will be simpler, smoother, and that our services will be more efficient. The year 2023 has not been good for the organic markets. As you know, the tough worldwide context and the security issues has led to inflation, which has deeply impacted our markets and generated a significant drop in the sales of organic products in major consuming markets. At the same time, European and American authorities have increased their control and pressure on certification bodies in order to reinforce the conformity of imported products with the concerned regulations. Regulations themselves are evolving, and more demanding regulations will soon come into force in Europe and USA. It will not be easy to meet these new requirements, but at ECOCERT we are well prepared and we have the will to support you as best as we can in this difficult process. I want to end this message with some positive news. Our markets are recovering in Europe, and according to the latest market data, sales are back to growth in France with plus 10% sales for Biocop in February, and market is also very dynamic in Germany. We have also noticed a strong and increasing demand for social certifications like rainforest resilience and fair trade products. It seems then that tomorrow is going to look better than yesterday, and that the organic and sustainable products will be back into consumer purchase. To conclude, I wish you all a blessed Ramadan filled with peace and joy. Ramadan Mubarak.
And apologies for some of the sound issues. So this is the message from our CEO. He really wanted to be here, and hopefully you got the message. There are some positive trends happening. In summary, when he was saying there are some positive trends and recovery we are seeing in Europe on the organic demand and the sales from organic channel distribution. And we also fully acknowledge the complexity of the regulation, the fast-changing regulation happening in Europe or the US, and the impact on the operators, especially on the other side of the world here in Indonesia. But ECOCERT is absolutely committed to continue to help you in this journey. And this is one of the reasons we are having also that event with those panelists sitting next to me to discuss in more details about organic and sustainable farming, the current trends, and the trends for the future. So for this afternoon, the way we are going to operate is we're going to have a discussion with the panelists around organic and sustainable farming. I'm going to introduce them in a few seconds. Please have your questions ready. We are gonna have question and answer. We're gonna have 2 question and answer sessions during the course of the afternoon, one every hour. So please hold your question. Same thing online for those who are attending the live stream. You can write your question. We have a moderator who's going to get the question, and we're going to have the panelists trying to reply to this question and have a lively discussion. So as much as possible, we want this session to be interactive. It's really a discussion between all the players in this organic and sustainable farming in Indonesia. So with no further ado, I'm gonna introduce our great panelists today. We have Ibu Emilia, who is the former Indonesia Organic Alliance president, and who is with us today. Thank you very much. Terima kasih. We also have Ibu Elsa, who is the board member, the current board member of the Indonesia Organic Alliance, and they're going to share more about some of the trends happening in that market here in Indonesia. We have Pak Imam Suwarto from with the head of cocoa sustainability at Olam Food Ingredients. We also have the pleasure to welcome Pak Putra Agung from Rainforest Alliance. He's the country director for Indonesia for Rainforest Alliance. And finally, all the way from France, we have the pleasure to have Camille Verdon, who is the director of ECOCERT Environment, the head of our ethical and sustainable division at ECOCERT. So we're going to have a lot of questions and answers from the panelists. As I said earlier, let's try to make it interactive, and hope you have a great afternoon. So maybe let's start with the current overview of the organic market, organic agriculture market in Indonesia. So maybe Ibu Emilia, do you want to share with us a little bit of what's the current landscape, the overview, and starting discussing about some of the potential trends in the future?
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, Bapak dan Ibu. Terima kasih waktunya. If we talk about landscape of organic in Indonesia, yeah, currently the trend of organic in Indonesia growing faster, especially after the pandemic, because the pandemic teaches us that healthy product, and we know the traceability of the product is very important for us. And makes especially in vegetable and also rice is growing very fast because the national demand growing fast. I think it's very fast because you can see in the organic statistic organic Indonesia, vegetable also growing fast than that 2079. We also maybe can share the data because we already have the data. And also, before we just talk about the export, but after pandemic, the national demand is growing very fast and makes small farmer in Indonesia get more income from the especially vegetable and rice. The current situation in Indonesia. And how about the export? Export, we don't know the exactly number of export of organic because we still don't have the type. This is the number of product or organic export. and we already talked to Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Trade, and also Ministry of Planning, that we should discuss about the number of organic products. And still difficult, but we try in Organic Indonesia Alliance, we still advocacy to government that we should have the number of the organic products.
Sorry, we already have a problem with sound. It was working earlier. It's going to be fixed. Sorry for that. Really apologies. So what is interesting in your comment, Emilia, is the fact that you're seeing growth in the domestic market, which is certainly a new fact. What do you think explains this situation? What has happened over the last few years that could explain the growth for this domestic demand? It's a very interesting trend.
Yeah, you can open the data. I mean, can you see the testing from the other presentation? Yeah, from the data we show that the land of the organic growing from the right. Yeah. This is the map of Indonesian organic product. You can see from the Aceh until the Papua, rice, coconut, coffee, cacao, palm sugar, herb, tropical fruit, vegetable, also nut, is growing fast. Then next. This is the rice product. You can see that the land area of the rice growing then 2019 because I don't remember how growing how many percent from the 2009 until now, but the productivity also growing for the last. This is the rice product. I think in vegetable, we don't put in data, but you can see in the SPOI is the statistic pertanian organik Indonesia. You can find how many vegetables growing in Indonesia, and we also have the trend from the customer that domestic customer growing after the pandemic. And in Organic Indonesia Alliance, we already have processor that's still looking for the vegetable product because they have a limited stock. They always say that I need the vegetable, because when they put in the modern market in Indonesia, organic just maybe only for the medium until the high-end customers. And they put on in the retail and modern market. And they always say the supply is limited supply. And not only in the vegetable and also rice, because now Indonesia we have the pilot project of the dairy product in organic and growing very fast because now we just have one pilot project in Malang, and we still have limited volume, but the market is the demand is very high, and now we just demand from the Central Java because they need organic dairy product. Support of government is very high in the product.
Thank you very much. We see the area increasing, production increasing. The number of farmers or producers, is it also increasing? So there are more and more operators who go into.
Yes, increasing because from the government project 1,000 organic village, even it's not successful, but the they inspiring the farmer to change from the conventional become the organic. Right.
And apologies because I'm not from Indonesia, but are there any special incentive, whether it's financial incentive or technical incentive, that either your organization or the government, the Ministry of Agriculture, is providing to help the operators going into that transition?
Actually, no. No, yeah. We talk about about this problem to Ministry of Agriculture and also Ministry of Planning, that you should have incentive for farmer so they can change from conventional to organic. We have the organic fertilizer as a subsidized, but not bigger than conventional. We propose to Ministry of Planning to have the budget for the from conventional.
Okay. And what is today, what do you see as the main blocking point or the main challenge from operators to transit or transfer from conventional to organic? What is it that are the one or two main blocking points? And what are some of the potential solutions in discussion in Indonesia that will remove those blockers?
Yeah, for farmer, we still need subsidize, especially for fertilizer, because fertilizer is very difficult to get fertilizer now, even at conventional and also organic. And we propose to government now in the e-procurement. You can see that government in Indonesia have e-procurement to support the farmer. Now they have fertilizer, organic fertilizer. In the processor, we still need the capital. Yeah. We need advance money for the farmer because they still need capital to buy organic fertilizer, to buy seed, and in the organic farming, they still don't have subsidized or soft loan for the organic processor. But we tried in the pilot project of dairy product, we collaboration with the government bank, and they have the soft loan for the livestock product. This is the pilot project, and we propose to government. You have the good experience in dairy product where you not applicate this experience in the organic farming. The other block, it's not good for the farmer in Indonesia, but we still promote that if you have the good product or organic product, you will have the good price. This is not good campaign. It's not the true campaign, but this is really happen in Indonesia. If you produce the organic product, we buy. Processor will buy in a good price than conventional.
Okay, very interesting. And maybe the next question will be for Elsa. As we understand, some of the challenges are mainly financial today. They seem to be less technical. How do you see the role of the alliance, your Indonesia Organic Alliance, to help removing some of those blocking points, whether they are financial or maybe access to techniques or technical support? How do you help your members today?
Thank you very much. Maybe I can answer that with presentation. Next page. I think that's the prompt. Good afternoon, everyone. Can you hear me? Okay. Just a little bit introduction. I'm also the leader of the AOI a long time, and Alliance Against Indonesia is already since 2002, and I'm also one of the producer in organics. So what we do with our members, also the members, this is the activity, what we do. Next. Yeah, this is what we do, how to help our members. In the organic agriculture, of course, they are members. Some of them is not only producer, but they also academics and also a person. And some of them are from institution. One of our main project at the moment, programs we call Farmer Indonesia. It's an organic participatory guarantee system, which is one of the main and big field how we can help small farmers in Indonesia. Because as we know, small farmers in organics, we know about organic certification, and not every farmers, when they start organics, they can afford to have certification for international level. So that's what we have to do in the small groups. Another one is organic markets. For example, AOI, we already done several exhibitions. We collaborate with one of the company that do exporting and import, and we work together with members, display our products, organics, and introduce to the market, even in the still very small quantity. But we also invite buyers from outside. So we do the business matching with them. And of course, the advocacy that we work together with our governments, how we can help these small farmers, especially, how they can sell the products organically without really having so many difficulties. Because of through the Farmer Indonesia or PGS, we try to introduce that whatever they produce under this community is already organic. So we really try to help the small farmers in AOI. But do we have a big company as well in our members? Yes. And we try to introduce small community farmers to work in the cooperative if they have the same product. So bigger company can become the customer of our small members. That's how we do it. We also work together with the government, how we can increase competency, credibility of organic products that produced by our members. Yeah, that's a few things that we do.
And what are the main questions that are coming? Are there like quite specific questions or demand that you could see some trends in the requests of your members? What are they looking at?
Yeah, thank you. Yes, of course, when we're doing business, all of us who here, we know the answer is market, right? So the same as our members. When they start small, it's easy. But when we want to grow, especially they already get the supporting capitals from banks or from government or from others, the question is market. Where are we gonna sell it? So like Ibu Emil already mentioned, it is growing faster, especially after the COVID, of the pandemic, especially in vegetables. It seems like happening not by effort, but by demand. Actually, the demand is increasing rapidly, and suddenly some of our members, it's become growing faster until now. So market is one of the big questions normally for our members. The second is when the market is open, sometimes we really need the capital to support the production. Yeah, this is always the big question.
Thank you very much. So we're going to talk about markets and export because that's the center of everything, as you just said. But you were talking about how the big clients can help maybe some of the smaller farmers, and we have Pakiman, something representing one of the big clients here in the country, Olan Food Ingredients. Maybe Pakiman, can you share how today you work, in Indonesia with the supply chain and working with those groups of farmers and and the different operators around your, especially for the commodity you're very familiar with, which is cocoa.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat sore. Thank you, Sam. I think before I start answering your question, allow me to introduce our company. Yeah, can you show the video that I sent? Just to let you are aware who we are. Short there. They said Olam. Yeah? So OFI, Olam Food Ingredient, is a member of Olam Group, which is Olam is based in Singapore. Within Olam, actually, there is a different or several businesses. Yeah, one is I'm not familiar for all. Yeah, I think there is 5 or 7. One of them, OFI, Olam Food Ingredient, meaning that all the commodities that related to ingredient. There is coffee, there is cocoa, there is spices, there is dairy, and one more is edible nut. That is under Olam Food Ingredient. And then I'm responsible only one of them, for cocoa, the cocoa business in Indonesia, as head of cocoa sustainability. In this forum, actually, I'm coming with my colleague Surya, who's sitting there. Can you stand up, Surya? Yeah, this is Surya. She is our expert on. She is our program manager, but expert on certification. And then when you are talking about organic, unfortunately in cocoa we don't have organic product, but in coffee, if any question on that, I can handle also. I was in coffee for a long time. Before I forgot, actually I'm member of ECOCERT long time before ECOCERT in IMO. I was the auditor for IMO for all the IMO certification that time, including organic. So I saw here some physics from my former game that time. This between 1995 to 2000. That is Masindro, actually my boss during that time. Yeah. So that. So back to your question, Pa Sham. Yeah. About are you asking about market?
I was, I think, referring to what Ibuelso was saying. It's about matchmaking. On one side, you have all those operators of small to medium size, and right now there seems to be a clear role that the big companies, and Roland is one of them, can play to help organic and sustainable. I think you're absolutely right. It's just organic, but organic and sustainable agriculture to rise to the next level.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, and yes, also right. You know, when you are talking or doing business, yeah, the first point that you should think actually about market is correct. No? But now, like in our experience, yeah, I have my sister there from Berry. Yeah. I think she know well also how the market is played. In our system, actually, very simple supply chain, yeah, from organized farmers into our upcountry warehouse, and then to main warehouse, and then port warehouse and export. No? So when we're talking about farmers, smallholder, we are working close to 70,000 farmers across Indonesia, yeah, and 75 or close to 80% of them are certified under Rainforest Alliance. Yeah, and I think ECOCERT is one of the biggest OCP on that. Just to share with you, we are working. So at the farmers level, actually, the challenge that you are mentioning, the challenge there, yes, this is access, no, but in the market currently, the challenge one, yeah, market regulations are tight, yeah, especially now with UDR. You know, although we are like in cocoa, coffee, the two commodities in the UDR, according to our experience, is low risk. Yeah. But again, that we need to make sure that you know, they are not in the forest, that the product is traceable. Yeah, done. The second is the challenge at the farmers' point of view. You know, the farmers' perception is only market sometimes. Yeah, wherever price is high, yeah, very high, and then they go there. Especially in cocoa, no, very easy farmers to convert into other commodities. Yeah, the trend, the last trend, yes, I got yesterday from field report that patchouli, yeah, this patchouli has become more in the market, yeah, compare like you know, food crop and palm oil. Yeah. That is the third challenge, of course, you know, to in terms of productivity, yeah, because you know, farmers in cocoa, for example, yeah, now the productivity is very low, yeah. Total production according to industry, yeah, last year is 150,000 metric ton last year, and this year we predict, yeah, about 30,000 metric ton. Yeah, so again, reduced like 20-25% compared to last year. It's because one is the El Nino last year. The El Nino, the effect always the coming year, no? Yeah, this year. Second, that you know, the agri input is very expensive. Yeah. And the third is actually agri input, meaning fertilizer, pesticide, but others is actually fertilizer. But most important thing now is farmers difficult to get you know, support from extensionists. Like now, like the government, especially they rely to private sector. No? That I think, you know, the bottleneck or a kind of drivers that we need to solve. Yeah, if we are willing to engage with market. I think this is for time being, Pak Sam. I'm happy if any follow-up question. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And we're certainly going to have questions. So Camille is going to share on EUDR to make sure everybody understands what's the latest on the regulation. So we're going to get to that soon. You were talking about the cost of fertilizer and pesticide. That Indonesia, a lot of countries have to import, and with the war in Europe, those prices went up to the roof. For you, from an OFI standpoint, do you see actually the move into more organic and sustainable farming as a way to get away from those high costs and keeping your end product at a price acceptable by the markets?
Yeah, there is two dilemma actually. When we are talking about in cocoa case, when we are talking about productivity in cocoa, the organic fertilizer is not enough, to support the productivity. Currently, actually, in our case, average yield, with the farm is 600 kilogram per hectare, dry bean. That expectation actually at least, we can increase into 1 ton per hectare at least. The potential of clone, different clone can produce up to 3 ton per hectare. Sometimes we can have like 3.5 ton per hectare dry bean. This is with a chemical fertilizer, combining organic and chemical fertilizer. That why I say dilemma. When we put more fertilizer, now is because we concerned about emission of CO2, that is something that we need to take into our account. So this is the business game actually on how we make a balance between productivity, but we try to contribute to the carbon positive. So therefore, in our strategy, we try to promote more or balance between composting, or organic material and chemical. Regarding the price of chemical, actually, in cocoa, we. I think this is related with lobby that you were saying, advocacy you were saying earlier. In cocoa, we have a platform what we call a Cocoa Sustainability Partnership, CSP. We did, I think, 5 years, almost more, I think, 7 years battle, with the Ministry of Agriculture to get subsidies for chemical fertilizer. Finally, 3 years back, we got that, because this is the process to Parliament. So now there is a viable chemical specific fertilizer for cocoa, which is subsidized by government. The price, if I'm not mistaken, for this year, I think 3,500 per kilogram. Compared to non-subsidies, is about 11, I think, rupiah. That is, the way that we are working, how to support or say, I think better word, incentivize farmers. I think from how you were saying about incentive, I think this is the way. Without incentive to the farmers, it's very difficult to motivated farmers to grow more. Engage with market more.
And maybe I'm going to play a devil's advocate here. Do you think there is a chance in the near future that there is financial incentives and subsidies for organic fertilizer, and ultimately have the win-win situation where you continue to promote organic practices that our children will need, and reducing your CO2 and all that? Do you see that eventually happening, either from the government or from the private sectors and the big buyers?
I think that the idea that I was saying about that subsidy and how to lobby and advocate with the government. I think this is possible. Yeah, but the thing that we need to have, evidence-based by the scientific-based argument on that, no, on experience of cocoa specific fertilizer. Actually, the research center of Marsh, yeah, and ICRI, the Indonesian Cocoa and Coffee Research Institute, yeah, both of them actually, put their research evidence, yeah, to convince Parliament, yeah, how important this, chemical, yeah, specific fertilizer for cocoa, yeah. So that's why the battle was long, yeah, about 5 years, But yeah, we have a working group, very active the time, yeah, to work on this until finally the government group on. I think in organic, yeah, with this trend, the market trend, and consumer behavior trend, yeah, in Europe, which is toward more on the healthy food and healthy environment. I think this is a good opportunity for example, AOI and the network to do same.
Okay, thank you very much. And so that's kind of refreshing, and there is hope, and the transition seems to go into the right direction. I'm going to have a couple of other questions, but we keep them for later, because we were talking about cocoa, we were talking about coffee, which I think are two commodities that Pak Agung is working a lot on with his team and with the schemes of the Rainforest Alliance here in Indonesia. And what would be interesting, Pak Agung, is to get your view on especially on those two commodities, very strong here in Indonesia. How do you see the trend for more sustainable farming, conscious about environment, social aspect as well, which can be, as I think Pak Imam was talking about, also something very important for the consumers in Europe or in the US who are scrutinizing those type of elements. What's your view currently?
No, thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, Bapak Ibu. Good afternoon. It's a very honored to be here among all of you and to share several thoughts about the sustainability in the way Rainforest Alliance see it. So I would like to start answer your questions, especially for coffee and cocoa, right? And I believe that these two commodities are the commodities that pretty much provide a multiplier effect to Indonesians people, especially in area that not really, being reached by higher technology, great transportation kind of infrastructure, so on and so forth. So by having these two commodities emerge, I believe it can be also provide more and more kind of prosperity for the Indonesian communities. Let's say if we talk about deforestations that associated with these two commodities, I don't see that. For me personally, coffee and cocoa still can be, associated with deforestation. It's been a long time ago, maybe, but for now, I don't see them as the drivers of deforestation anymore. So I believe that by having like a more kind of what we call it, attention from all stakeholders toward these two commodities, we can provide more progress in a way to invite more sustainable practices into the way commodities, the way stakeholders along the supply chains produce the coffee and cocoa in a sustainable way. So we need to create this kind of, rooms for that to be happen. I try to, maybe we can open the slide that I sent to you and go to the slide number 19. So the way we see all the commodities under the Rainforest Alliance certification scheme, or the commodities that being considered as the primary commodities that Rainforest Alliance trying to intervene in a way to promote sustainability, we are now in our new strategy for 2030. Yeah, we are pretty much looking into to try to leapfrog our approach. So from sustainability or sustainable way, then pretty much thinking or actions related to the do not harm, to the more regenerative kind of approaches. So the way we try to repair and restore what is already being destroyed. So it's with what is already being considered as, you know, a bad thing that's already happened a long time ago. So that's the thing that we are trying to do at the moment, pretty much more on, you know, thinking about regenerative agriculture. And I believe that since we have like a lot of offerings, not only certifications, but also like many others offering under our standard and frameworks, and also under the new kind of programs that Rainforest Alliance called Thriving Landscape. So enforcing this kind of you know, approaches still be one of, you know, Rainforest Alliance contributions to, especially to really, you know, make these two commodities, as you mentioned previously, coffee and cocoa, as the centers of interventions, especially in the several landscapes that we're working at the moment. Coffee and cocoa still become our main, you know, entry point to promote sustainability at the landscape level, for example. So it's still there, yeah. So we see the coffee and cocoa, if we can find the right approaches and interventions and collaborations among the stakeholders, especially the support that we need from the government, for example, then it will be huge.
Yeah, you're answering that question. I was going to ask you the question. So what is needed to get that leapfrog happening? What do you think in Indonesia, if we focus on those two commodities, which are certainly the core of the agriculture in Indonesia in volume and value, what do you think needs to happen next? I think the slide is amazing. You know, the call of a generation, that's really what it is about. It's not just about incremental change. It's the call of a generation. What do you think needs to happen, and how you see it happening or unfolding over the next few years?
Yes, of course, it will be a lot of enabling conditions that we need. Like from our point of view, one of the most important things is how to improve the capacity and knowledge of the actors along the supply chains. It is not only the knowledge of farmers or producers, but also the knowledge of the actors, the other actors along the supply chains. It can be traders, companies, so on and so forth. So, and also it is important to improve the capacity building and awareness of the end consumers as well. So we see this very important at the very kind of prime kind of, you know, activities or interventions. The second one, like I told you previously about the policy and regulation reforms, and it's also need to be enforced. So maybe from my point of view as the voluntary standard, we try to provide like a reward for people that really want to do sustainable kind of produce or productions. But it also, from our point of view, it needs to be followed by a regulation that also support this kind of effort, especially from the government. The way governments see it is something that we want to see this also as a joint effort between the all stakeholders, not only promoting sustainability is what we call it is a playing ground for one or two, three entities, but it's supposed to be responsibility of everyone. The third one is, yeah, of course, inclusive collaborations. Nobody can do anything alone. So when you hand in hand join forces, promoting sustainability in a way that governments, in a way that mandatory and voluntary kind of standard can be, supporting or complementary one to another, is something that really, a dream come true if this can happen. And the next one, I see this related to the investment on technology. So we need also to consider that technology on agriculture is very fast. Yeah, so right now we are always talking about AI, and AI now is already in agriculture sectors as well, in our traceability system as well. So yeah, involving technology in a way to improve sustainability, in a way to improve productivity is also something important. The last one, from our point of view, it's always important to have a data to measure impact, and it's supposed to be transparent and trustable. So I think that's I stop there, Sam. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a very good detailed answer, and I think that gives again hope and clear direction into where the market and the entire ecosystem can go. You're putting some right directions here. I think you touch on something, and maybe we're going to have a Q&A in a couple of minutes. We're going to have the first Q&A session. But I just wanted maybe to ask Camille, Pakagung, you were talking about consumer and how we inform the entire chain. But at the end, this is the consumer that ultimately will drive everything. So maybe Camille, coming from Europe, you can give us a view, and I think you have prepared some data, some quick numbers to show some of the change in the behavior of the consumers in Europe and the US. And as you talked about team collaboration and every level need to cooperate, there is a role certainly to play for a certification body like ECOCERT to be also part of that ecosystem and help as much as we can driving that agenda. So maybe Camille, you want to share some of the information on the consumer that you...
Yeah, maybe starting on the consumer and a bit more broadly, what's driving this sustainability markets in Europe or in the US. There are many different changes. You mentioned also the impact and the role of regulation. And we all see that regulation, especially now, especially in Europe, with the European Green Deal, is dragging a lot of sustainability agendas of companies with a new regulation of extra financial reporting, India regulation, which we'll maybe talk a bit later. And also the consumer in Europe, what's very important, and you also mentioned the role of technology, what has drastically changed in our world recently, well, recently in the last 20 years, I would say, is that before the consumer didn't really have access to data, to what's going on along the value chain of my products. And now in the media and, well, everywhere pretty much on the internet, you see the story of of people behind the product. And this is clearly making a big change. Consumer are becoming more and more what we call value seeker. And in the data I don't have it by heart, but I think like around more than 80% of global consumer say when we ask them that they will be willing and they are seeking for more sustainable products. So this is really dragging a change in companies. We have another key factor. I think it's also very, very important. Most companies have shareholders in the end, right? And before, sustainability was also something a bit aside the company. So let's say, to make it funny, the green guys, working somewhere in the company. Today, it's really what we see embedded in company strategy, really, really strong. And there are very strong requests from shareholders, financial institutions, and the society at the larger, so like NGOs, to pushing again towards sustainability and more sustainability in the supply chain. And what we see is that all these requests and all this context is obviously making stronger and stronger sustainability agendas of companies at all levels, so within themselves, but also towards the suppliers, towards the stakeholders, towards the civil society at the broadest. And well, I think that this is not only a strong differentiation factor to tackle sustainability, but also somehow a matter of survival, right? Survival for us, but also survival for companies, allowing you to decrease your risk, your operational risk, reputational risk, financial risk, and creating values in company. And that's a clear trend we see a lot in Europe. In the US, we have the big chance to be as international as working, both with the final consuming market and producing market everywhere in the world. We work across 130 countries within ECOCERT and mostly focused on sustainable supply chains.
Thank you, Camille. And that's going to be the last point. As promised, we will have a Q&A session. Time flies, it's already an hour. We have that discussion going, and very exciting. We're going to take questions from the audience. Just before we finish with that first part, going back to that collaboration, which is going to be key here in Indonesia, but certainly around the world. How do you see the role of a certification body working with client, alliance, government, operators, of course, and scheme owners? How do you see all of this aligning in the future?
Thank you. Yes, well, as a certification body, our role is to audit, certify, verify, let's say in brief, to valorize the sustainable practices at field level, so all along the supply chain. And what we do, so within ECOCERT, as you might know, we only tackle sustainable schemes. So we only work in sustainability, and we have a very strong position on choosing the schemes we kind of like decide to audit. We have an ethical committee within ECOCERT analyzing in depth all the new schemes that are suggested to be audited by any of our subsidiaries. And so I think our role is to, through our scheme portfolio, to have impactful and to choose impactful schemes that we want to offer to our clients. And well, because our main role is also to be on the field with all of you, the role is also very strong to do a qualitative work, qualitative in the sense that we put lots of effort, and this week is a great representative of what we are doing. Lots of effort on how we audit, for this audit to have good quality and to be recognized as, okay, these are driving changes. Really, the objective and what we seek within ECOCERT is to have impact. And I think one of the other important points is, obviously, and that was mentioned by all of you, we cannot do it alone. We are only one stone in this big wall, right? And I think if we succeed in choosing the right schemes, having audits of good quality, fostering our client access to markets, which is also something that was mentioned and is very important, meaning being reactive, having the schemes also that are the schemes that the market wants. And if we partner, and I think this is this panel and the people here are a very good example of this, we really need to partner, all of us, towards sustainability. None of us can do it alone. We need producers, we need to involve supply chain, we need to involve consumers, government, trade association, and only together we'll succeed in like driving the worldwide sustainability agenda, hopefully.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Camille. And as maybe just to give a bit of background, you're going to see a lot of people with ECOCERT polo because we just finished 1 week of training. We flew all our auditors from all around the region, close to 40 staff. We just done 1 full week of training on some of the new regulation, and as you might know, some similar, familiar faces who have been maybe working in your operations on the site. As there are some changing in the regulation, as you know, they will continue to help you, and they need some training. I'm going to pause here for a minute. I think it's time for questions. It has been like an hour, fantastic discussion. Thank you very much to all our panelists. But we have another set of questions, I'm sure, coming their way. Who wants to start first and raise the hand? And on the live stream, who already sent a set of questions? I'm sure you already have. We are going to start collecting the live stream question. But are there anybody in the room with questions for our panelists? Please. Thank you. It's working.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Marcia from Forest White. So we are a company who sell natural forest ingredients, especially leafy butter. So as we know, leafy butter is a cocoa butter equivalent. That is like a hidden gem product from Borneo, because this is abundantly available in Borneo, but cannot be found in other regions, maybe just a little bit in the Sumatra. So we sell this product worldwide, especially in the European market and USA market. But the fact is, we have a challenge to sell this product in Indonesia. So I want to hear from the experts here. Do you think the product like leafy butter as a substitute product for other products that probably related to the deforestation can steal the heart of Indonesian market? Because sometimes we found that Indonesian market, especially, not really aware about the organic, the sustainability, the traceability. The main things that they are aware is about the price. So when they found a better price, I mean a cheaper price than the traceable or organic product, so they can move to that product, even though that product is really related to the deforestation or not a sustainable product. So I want to hear from the expert in front of me how we can improve Indonesian market to be able to aware about the traceable and organic and natural product, such as Philippine butter and other products, perhaps in Indonesian market. So yeah, everyone sometimes everyone, even Indonesian people, don't know about the Philippine butter itself. They don't know that this is our hidden gem. They often know about the shea butter or cocoa butter, but they didn't know about the Philippine butter that come from in their own country. So this is the fact, and I want to hear from your experience here. That's my question. The second question is regarding the certification. We are ECOCERT and Terraforma certification, but from our experience, it's not really effective in Indonesian market. What do you think about the certification that can be boost our sales in Indonesian market?
Maybe Pakago, you want to take on the
Maybe I would like to a little bit address on Mbak Marsha, yeah. I think we are sharing the same landscape. We're working on Sintang, right?
Yes, we are in
Okay,
Sintang.
so I know that price-wise.
So Philippines Tangkawang.
Yeah.
There is some.
Oh yeah.
Philippines Tangkawang, the origin product from Borneo.
Yeah. It's a hidden gem, of course. So, well, Ilipi butter or Tangkawang, we call it, is one of the little, I would say, rare, kind of exclusive products that you cannot find in any place in Indonesia. So we are pretty much happy. We are very much happy as a restaurant that we're also working in the same landscape with Firstwise, and we already see a lot of Ilipi trees in Sintang. But related to the deforestation that mentioned previously, I don't see this as for me personally as a threat to deforestation. Yeah. Because it is the Ilipi butter or the Tangkawang trees is very much embedded to the community kind of traditions. So they will protect the Ilipi from any kind of effort to chop it down. And of course, since they already know also that the Ilipi or the Tangkawang now has a good value, then they will automatically protect it, right? But the thing is, maybe the only thing that needs to be improved, for improvement for the Ilipi, is to really make people aware on what the Ilipi is, what is the Tangkawang is, and what is the functions or the good of promoting this Ilipi, because not everyone knows that. I believe that because I'm a forester, so I know exactly the things, and I do believe that it can be one of also the options for livelihood. Option for livelihood for communities, because yeah, just like foresters are doing right now, it's been proven to be the livelihood of the community.
Thank you very much. And maybe if you allow me to answer your second question, I think it's ECOCERT is a global company, 2,200 employees worldwide, and operating in 130 countries. And as a value we want to bring to our customers is that ability to have a global market view and the possibility to export. We cannot do everything. We'd rather focus on what we want to do, and we want to do with high quality, which is really helping the export commodity markets. When it comes to domestic sale, domestic trade, there are some domestic schemes, there are some domestic initiatives where we feel the local authorities, the local certification body will do a better job, and we need to respect each other, work together, because at the end we want to change the world and make it better. But we know we cannot be of a strong help for domestic. we know that the brand ECOCERT, and when you're certified, will help you open a lot of doors and opportunities globally. And we work hand in hand with local certification body. We will only focus for local operators to sell to the local distribution channel. I think that there are two different positioning, and we hope one day we can continue to help you selling overseas through that brand and those distribution channel, and certainly you can use that as well domestically and work also with a local CB.
And maybe to complement what you just said, Sam, is I think, well, for instance, for Fair for Life, which is very much developed in Europe, for instance, there is this consumer demand for fair trade products. So what I was saying before is like, okay, I realize that every purchasing decision has an impact along the whole supply chain. So I'm making this choice of paying a higher price because Fair for Life product, for instance, have a higher price than normal product. I am, as a consumer, making this choice to pay for a higher price because I know this scheme has a very strong impact all along the supply chain until the producer, based on the fair price and all the rest. The difficulty sometimes when there is no consumer demand. So as you said, in Indonesia, for you it's difficult to achieve basically consumer demands. Then the scheme, there will be few demand for this type of scheme, But I mean, tomorrow, if the market is developing in Indonesia and if there is really a consumer demand for fair trade and for Fair for Life products, obviously, this is rather a brand approach, and some brands might see the interest of, okay, I'm gonna make it Fair for Life and I'm going to source locally and everything that goes with the scheme, But I would say the first starting point would be the consumer demand, followed by the will of the brand to differentiate itself towards this consumer, So when the market will be there, hopefully we can help you forward.
And we will go back to your comment, Pak Agung, on the livelihood of the community, because this is at the core of all the organic and sustainable farming, and certainly from the government standpoint and province, there is certainly some data that can help making changes in the regulation or in the way they incentivize agriculture to realize the impact to the local community, to the welfare, to the the life of the people of Indonesia or other countries, but because the impact we know is massive. Thank you very much for being the first one and daring to ask the first question. Are there any other questions in the room? I understand there are a lot of questions through the live stream, but please, are there any questions in the rooms? Don't be shy. We have one. Thank you. Terima kasih.
Thank you. Hello. Good evening. My name is Henki from Konferensi Agro. We are a cinnamon company from Jambi, Sumatera. We are processing export to abroad since 2006, and we have been running sustainable trade 2016 until today. Sustainable trade cinnamon with smallholder today is around 5 farmers. First time maybe around 135 with total area 600 maybe. And today we are reduced because the regulation of Europe more difficult. And based on my experience, since we are export a lot to abroad, Europe, USA, until today, maybe first time 2016, 2010, the business is good because regulation is good. It's not too strict compared like this year. 2 years. For example, on January we are shipment cinnamon broken to Europe, Rotterdam. In the past, we are test pesticide, and we found the glyphosate issue 0.01. In Hamburg, they can tolerance by test European. And in January, we will test by European. We found glyphosate 0.005. But my customer reject the good because there is glyphosate what zero, no detected glyphosate. Because of that, we are producing again 125 ton. Because regulation Europe more difficult. Based on regulation Europe, food safety, MRL, minimum residual level around 0.01 milligram per kg. And we found European around 0.05. We produce again a second lot after test again by European in Germany, pass. Okay, we get approval with our buyer. Then we shipment to Holland. After we arrival in Rotterdam, we get random check based on regulation government, random check. Then we test again in Europe. What if the result is different? We must return again from Holland to Indonesia. My question is, why is different regulation in Germany and Rotterdam? Because in one umbrella regulation, right? Because in Germany we have tolerance half from the result. And according to regulation Food Europe, the maximum minimum level residue is around 0.01. But my customer don't want to take a risk because detected glyphosate. Glyphosate is the content of half where normal tropical country to clean the plantation. We can't rule down. That's all. Thank you very much.
I guess I'm going to try to reply. I wish there was someone from the European Union. He or she would have been better placed to answer.
Because 2015 we are export around 250 tons per year in Europe. Last year only 25 tons a year because the regulation is very strict. It's not make sense for us. If we know the song is killing me softly, today he is killing us slowly. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's very hard to answer because again, we are not making the regulation. What I think is important is this regulation at the end is made to ensure the organicity, if I may say, of the product. And there has been, from what we understand, there has been actually some abuse, some cheating, some mixing and intermingling in terms of commodities. So I don't have the details about your case. You explained, but this is very technical. What we know is the regulation is becoming more strict in Europe. Just be ready, it's going to become more strict in the US as well, that we know. Again, the idea is to make sure that the premium of the organic product, so the regulators wants to ensure that the premium of those organic products are pure, if I may say. But maybe to a level of purity that is so hard to achieve that I can understand your frustration. What can be done through the chain of production is through the samplings, through the working with labs, and before the consignment is going away, there might be some work that can be done to avoid the situation happening at destination. Now, whether Germany wants to do something different or your client wants to do something different, I'm afraid that the regulation is not going to be able to address that. The regulation will give a framework, and countries or clients can choose to play with that regulation. What we know for sure, it's becoming stricter and stricter. So here I'm not gonna lie. The regulation, and you are saying it, is becoming stricter in Europe. It's going to become stricter as well with the National Organic Program in the US, and that will cascade down to Canada, to Great Britain, to Japan, and other countries. So then it's a question whether the premium price that your buyer, is ready to pay, is compensating that quality control you're going to have to put in place. So I'm not able to answer your question right away, but I'm just giving you some of the trends and how, as we are talking about collaboration and teamwork, we are also sharing those information with the UDR. We have people at ECOCERT who, try to also give information from the ground, because the people in Brussels, in Europe, they might not very sure about what's happening, in a Sulawesi or Rantepao, in terms of production. They are potentially disconnected. Our job is also to feedback those information and making sure the regulation can be applicable to operators in those remote countries. Thank you very much for your question. Are there any questions in the room, or are there questions maybe Anton from the live stream?
Yeah, there is one question for this is from Pak Kustiwa Adinata from Jamtani. The question is for the cocoa farmer, especially for Pak Imam. Is there still a profit for the cocoa farmer, especially in the current situation with the climate change? Still profit or no?
The answer is for. Can I go?
Please,
Yeah.
please.
So thank you for the question. Today, no, not today actually, as from this first quarter, cocoa farmers in Indonesia are very happy. Yeah, very, very happy because of the price. Yeah, like today, last week the price up to 100,000 rupiah per kg. Yeah, today, in the market is around 70,000 to 80,000 rupiah. Yeah, it's correct. Yeah, but Maria. Yeah. So that is if the answer farmers profit from now very much. Yeah, a lot. And earn from that this one the price. Yeah. But I would like to share to farmers or cocoa producer, that price is temporary. Yeah, it's not the fixed price for cocoa. Yeah, so just be aware on that. This is correct. This is because the impact of El Nino. Yeah, the impact of global production. Yeah, like in Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana. Yeah, the crop dropped 40%. Yeah. So that's why, that will affect into cocoa price in Indonesia. Yeah, and also in the country in here in Indonesia, that I was saying just now that the crop also declining. Yeah, that is the effect of that El Nino and also others factor outside of Indonesia. That is some. Again, thank you for the question.
There is a continued question.
Please.
The follow-up question is, what about the increase of the yield? Is there any increase of?
Yeah. The yield, no, the yield is unpredictable. Yeah, and the trend is declining. Yeah. Why is declining? Because one, farmers difficult to increase the adoption of the good agriculture practices. Yeah. This one, the effect or the why farmers cannot increase the adoption or apply the good agriculture practices in their farm. Yeah, because I said previously, agri is very expensive, chemical and also pesticide, meaning fertilizer and pesticide. This one, second, that farmers still using monoclone, all the cocoa farmers in Indonesia are happy with MCC02, which is or 45, in farmers they call 45. MCC02, which is we found, or not us actually, the industry found, that MCC02 is cannot do self-pollination. They need to have others clone, so they can have like a cross pollination. March actually launched the combination of clone. If you are interested, I can share with you. Like for example, MCC02, this is good. You can mix with BB01, S1, or KW or ICRI 09. That is the good combination for MCC02 or 45. Without that, and then after 5 years, you grow, the cocoa will decline. The yield will decline because they are not self-pollinated clone. The answer is declining.
Terima kasih, Pak Iman. Are there any other questions from the public? No?
Awesome. Maybe I'm interested to this question on cassia. I think the way to cope with that problem actually, how do you comply with that regulation? That is, we have the same problem with UDR, no? We cannot do too much with them. Regulation is regulation. Every country has their role. We buy also cinnamon from Konferensi. I was also, maybe you know cassia pop. I don't know whether there's access there. So I'm the one who set up the fair trade, organic, and forest for them. It's a long time back. But back to your question, actually, you should answer how to comply with that. I know that there's a cassia there. Sometimes they mix with chili or this one, and then they, in some farm they spray with pesticide, and then that will become a problem. That I think my contribution, because we same, we do export cassia to Europe.
Also to just quickly comment on this point. So I don't know the whole technical detail, but I think what we see also sustainability schemes in general, saying that organic is sustainable, right? Is that it's always a trade-off between I am reinforcing the level of exigencies because this is what the market wants, and I am lowering the exigencies so that it makes it easy to enter the market, so market access is better. But then you can have also pitfalls saying that, okay, organic is not really organic, because the thresholds are too high. Or, I don't know, this scheme is not addressing social issues, so it's not enough, And so it's always how to reinforce the credibility, but in the same time, the more you do and the more you add elements, obviously, somehow the more difficult it is to access the market, So I think it's this kind of trade-off that we see overall.
Okay. Thank you very much, Camille, for that point. And thanks everyone for your first set of questions. We're going to have another QA in around 45 minutes. What we're going to continue to do is the discussion with the panelists. We have still have some questions in my pocket for you, and maybe for our two ladies from OIA to if you had, so as an alliance, you're trying to build that collaboration and having some initiatives. If you had a magic power, you know, you have the magic wand in a dream, what will be the single action you would like to see, let's say in 2024, to help the growth of the organic agriculture in Indonesia?
Yeah, okay. In Organic Indonesia Alliance, we have the scheme that we should cooperation with multi-stakeholders. So we call it a pertanian system. That's we cooperation with the community as a farmer and cooperative. Also, we should have we have a very close relation with government. I answered the question from the lady. How about the niche market, organic niche market? Indonesia Organic Alliance have the cooperation with Ministry of Trade to branding, to packaging, and also to marketing from storytelling to story selling. Because organic is very difficult in Indonesia because high price, and niche market is very small. That's why export is more profitable than local customer. That's but Ministry of Trade is very helpful for the farmer and a cooperative to help them to get the market. The problem we have the limited funding in research, and this is the academic function, and also business function is to get the market, because for in Indonesia farmer only just produce. We cannot they cannot think about the market, because for 360 years under the colonial, farmers just produce. They don't think about the agri-premium. So Organic Indonesia Alliance campaign about the organic planner. We have the program Youth Organic Planner. Entrepreneur is very important for the farmer. And we also need media campaign. Organic is expensive. Organic is only for the high person. So we campaign that organic is not just expensive. Not organic is for healthier planet. That's why who also mentioned about the PGS, participatory guarantee system. Because from the local market, you no need certification. You just need the declare of organic. You just need a vegetable that declare as organic. It's more cheap than you get the maybe as an certificate something. Media, we collaboration with media to campaign about the healthier planet. Maybe
the magic wand, she said. I like that.
Let's dream for a minute.
Yeah, as Indonesian is a developing countries, which is who hold the magic wand is, I think, the government. Yeah. So in those 5 areas, academic, business, community, media, government, everything is government has to be in control of everything, especially in organics growing in Indonesia. As we know, Indonesia, by default, many areas is organics. I mean, by default, there is a lot of area in Kalimantan, Sulawesi, Nusa Tenggara Barat, East Nusa Tenggara Timur. There is many areas, not in Java. Yeah, by default is organics. So this is only known locally. Like for example, the product from Kalimantan. I'm from Roti Island. There is one very healthy product. We call it lontar nectar, and it's only known by local people. but this product can feed Indonesia, even Java Island, just buy from that island, because this island is more the trees than the people. So there is so many things, products from Indonesia is very potential to grow organically. So how we can make these organics become our lifestyle is, of course, especially I think from the education. We know Indonesia as agriculture country since I was kids. We know that, but we still importing a lot of food from abroad. If we really want to grow in organics, I think we have to do a lot of research, yeah, a lot of database. Like how many areas in Indonesia that haven't been utilized for agriculture cultivation? There is still many more. And how this will work? I think it's gonna take a long time, and it will happen if we all collaborate and understand what is the future food business or food sustainability, not only for Indonesian but only for the world. And that's it, I think. Thank you.
Terima kasih, and I think what you're saying is also going back to the comment of Pak Agung, the livelihood looks like it's proven. The livelihood of communities improving when you have organic and sustainable farming around. Of course, less fertilizer in the soil, clear water, and certainly from a health standpoint. And here I just would like to share something going back. I'm French. In France, the organic agriculture was supported, and the advertising on TV and the advertising on the newspaper to make sure the consumer understand, it was not the Ministry of Agriculture, it was the Ministry of Health. So my parents, to feed me with organic food, they had to go to the pharmacy. 40 years ago, organic products were sold in pharmacy. It was considered as a good element for health. So the French people who have grown with organic as the best thing for your health. And the TV advertising, everything was sponsored by the Ministry of Health, not the Ministry of Agriculture. That I think was an interesting fact. And correct me if I'm wrong, Camille, because I left France 22 years ago, but I think now a law has passed. That's why the role of the government is key on what you're saying, Wilson. It is now mandatory in canteen, school canteen, children to serve, what is it, 10% or 20%? I think it's 10%. So out of 5 days of school, there is 1 day where the kids have to get organic food served in the canteen by law. If the school is not doing it, there is a fine. So the idea is then to have the school working with a community of farmers and agriculture and getting the food close to the school to get that organic system. And it's also helping the farmers to take the risk to go from, to convert from conventional to organic, because they know there will be demand. There will be, they can supply, and there will be demand paid by the parents, paid by the school, paid by the community. So it took time, but there is hope because it's happening and it can happen. And maybe Pak Agung, if you want to conclude on that point, if you want to go back on that livelihood of the community, I think this is something what can give us hope to continue that fight and giving the proud and the pride for all the operators to continue in this organic and sustainable farming. If you want to make a final comment on this.
Yeah, thank you, Pastor. So from the perspective of the first line, so our tagline, of course, I believe that some of you already know that we are working together with people and nature. So we are working in the intersections of ecological protections, businesses, and promoting social welfare. So from that point of view, it is pretty much clear for us that the most important thing, one of the most important thing that's also already stipulated and reflected our standard, for example, is to improve the livelihood. One of the functions of having the certification, having the standard, is to improve the livelihood. Well, we try to make it balanced, of course, for protections of the environment, moving toward the good businesses, provide, generating income kind of thing. But also, when we talk about livelihood, it is something that, from our point of view, is one of the key milestones need to be improved if we want to bring everything, to bring this process into the next level. For example, if you want to promote, like, for example, you need to protect this kind of forests. You need to protect this biodiversity area. But if the commodities surrounding this area, still not enough to fulfill their stomachs, for example, it's not going to be something. It's just like a jargon. That's the thing that we see as an entry point to really put the livelihood as the main kind of starting point when we want to move forward into more sustainable practices. I think it's already, stipulated the reference for any kind of standard that trying to make a balance between livelihood, environmental protections, and also social kind of businesses is already there. It means that everyone's agree that livelihood is important.
Okay, yeah, that's only the wish for the future, leveraging on the current situation, and the role of government is key, but certainly all of this in this room and the people in the panel can be part of that change as well. And maybe Pakiman, as the head of sustainability of such a big firm as OFI, how is your working relationship, or what advice would you give to operators, when they want to be part of the supply chain and be a supplier to Olam? What would be some of the key advice for them to take that leap and go really into that sustainable farming?
Well, thank you, Pak. No, actually, as a company, the key element or to continue the business, to maintain the business, actually, to keep the trust of the customer. Yeah, because we Olam is not only a trader, we are also grinder. Yeah, we have a factory in Tangerang, to grain cocoa bean. Yeah, capacity 150,000 metric ton. Yeah, so if we bought all, then I think that will ask why you bought all, because Berry also have sick. Yeah, that is one thing. To keep the trust of the customer is very important. How to make it happen, actually, to make our supply chain trusted to do. Yeah, how to do? Yeah, first make sure that all the supply chain comply with the market requirement, comply with the customer need, comply with end buyer or end customer need. This is the way that we should do. Yeah. To one of the compliant, actually, we need to fulfill as Olam or Olam food ingredient, actually request from the customer or public. Actually, we cannot just claim that our product is sustainable. Yeah, but we need to have a guarantee from a third party. Yeah, that is mandatory. Yeah, we cannot. Let's say March, yeah, we bought March only by certified rainforest land. Yeah, so there is another way for Olam not to certify all the farms. Yeah, otherwise you cannot buy, you cannot sell to March. No? That is, the key of doing business. Keep the trust, maintaining the trust of the customer, yeah, and also related with for example, the rainforest alliance in the CB. Yeah? Also, we need to professionally work together to make sure that the trust of the customer, yeah, can maintain together. Yeah, that is a second part of what I can share with you here. Yeah. The thing actually, the market became very dynamic, yeah, including the UDR, etc. So we also internally we need to build our capacity, yeah, internally, in terms of manpower, yeah, and also development of innovation. Yeah, for example, in cocoa we use salt the landscape approach on the sloping area. This one, and also we initiate, for example, all the training manuals is digital. Yeah, we have. If you have Android, you can share ECOCERT, and then you can have like our module there. It's online for everyone. Yeah, and then you can study how to become a farmer through that. Other thing that also we initiated to have to cope with climate change. Yeah, we initiate like a drip irrigation for cocoa. We call CASD. Yeah, cocoa simple drip irrigation. Yeah, that is a pilot now. Yeah? Because currently actually the drip irrigation for cocoa only exists in plantation, big plantation like us. Yeah, we have 350,000 cocoa plantation in Seram, which is using that technology, yeah? Drip irrigation and fertigation, and in some research station also using that. The question for us actually, why this only in big plantation and research station? What about our farm? So we started to make that drip irrigation for farmers. This kind of innovation to cope with the challenge, and also to answer the question from our customer, because they answer also. They ask us also, what do you want to do with the like the climate change, long drought, like last year. Yeah. That is one of the answer. Second answer actually, agroforestry is a must for us. It is related with the livelihood that farmers not only get income from cocoa, but also from the citri. Yeah, mainly like a food crop. So they can, during the low season, they can still have some income from different crops. Yeah. I think that my contribution.
Thank you very much. And I think we it echoes with what Rainforest Alliance is doing, and Pakagum, what Pakimam shared about Mars making it a requirement. I think maybe Pakagum can explain and share with the operators here and those who are online, what based on your experience working for Rainforest Alliance for years here in Indonesia, what would be your best advice if one of them in this room is thinking about going into Rainforest Alliance and trying to make that frog leap? What would be some of the key advice and suggestion you will give them to reassure and to move forward?
Yeah, well, yeah, it is came from the experiences and the observations. So, yes, working for Rainforest Alliance. First, you have to know why. Why means that where do you need the certification? Where do you need to be certified, for example? So from my point of view, we experience that somehow producers and also the corporates, for example, well, not all of them have the same needs, intense and aspirations. But some use of certifications merely as a market access. They only think about, yeah, because they have like a differentiate kind of, interest, target goals having the certifications, but some of them use this as a market access and risk mitigation tools, and others look for differentiations. So you need to understand then why you need to be certified by considering this kind of thing. So that's the first one. The second one, of course, to understand the targeted market or demand. For producers, it is always better, to have a market that demand sustainability that already approaching you as the sourcing area, this kind of thing. So it is also important to have that one, and vice versa also for the company. So having having a market access in the first hand prior you go into or stepping into the certification, it's also something that very important. The next, I think it's quite common step, yeah, like understanding and adhere to the supporting rules, regulations, standard of the reference line sustainable standard, and yeah, the last but not least, review and comply, go to the audit. But these kind of steps that I think, if you want to step into the certifications, I believe that the step number 1 and 2 is something that you need to think first, because the rest of it will follow.
The rest of it will follow and will continue, which means that when you start getting certified for First Alliance, you tend to stay almost forever because you see the value,
yeah,
after the pain
exactly.
of the first maybe years. You already see the return on investment in terms of time, yeah, and resource.
Yeah, because it also depends on the standard itself, because we also have like a scheme what we call as a shared responsibility to really ensure that the continuity of the certification.
And is it okay to ask you how many clients today or how many operators are certified by Rainforest Alliance in Indonesia?
I forgot. I totally forgot.
Sorry, I took you by surprise. Too many, but that's great. And I think maybe Camille, just to get you ready on the next topic, which is a sensitive one, and that's why we kept it to the end, to not to make sure we can keep the mood happy. But there are discussion about agroforestry, about livelihood of the community, and as you know, there is a new regulation called EUDR that is coming into force at the end of this year. That's a topic very close to Camille, and what we wanted to do here. I know she has some slides as well to support, because it's a complex topic. It's an impactful topic. So maybe Camille, can you share a little bit more about what this new EUDR is about, making sure that the public, the audience, has the chance to hear it from one of the experts, if I may say, and as well as on the live stream. So if you can share maybe some of the slides and go through the key commodities and key information.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the slides because it will be easier to digest it.
And we will send you some of those slides, so don't worry, we will send them to you. This is for public consumption, and here is one of the important ones for you to take notes and remember.
Yeah, so I try to summarize the key takeaways of the EUDR regulation. Obviously, my neighbor wants to complete, they can also contribute. But so first, the first question, as you mentioned, also always the why, And why is this regulation come into force? So it was starting by the fact that the EU realized that lots of deforestation, there is lots of imported deforestation with the consequences of biodiversity loss, climate change, etc. The EU has decided to put in place this regulation. And what it requires the first importer within the European Union to do a due diligence on deforestation on its product. So first, what is a due diligence? A due diligence is first to have a risk analysis and then to have a risk mitigation plan. So again, it applies to the operator in the EU, the first one importing from outside EU, but obviously will also have an impact all along supply chains. For this operator in the EU, the consequences can be very severe. Obviously, fines and penalties that can go up to 4% of the turnover of products sold within the EU, so quite big, until product confiscation and exclusion from procurement. For these companies, it's, as you mentioned before, it's very big challenge to comply with this regulation, which is designed with a high level of exigence and requirements. So just in terms of timing, so that you have it in mind, this regulation will enter into application the 30th of December 2024. I know there are still discussions to try to like push a little bit further this date, and then small and medium enterprises are not yet, so they have a transition time frame that's a bit longer, so it will come into force 1 year after for them. And yeah, so I think there is a hidden slide. There is one that's hidden. Well, it's about basically the commodities that are concerned by the regulation and the requirements. So probably I'm going to start with the requirement. We can categorize them in 3 big parts. One is obviously about zero deforestation. So zero deforestation should be proven with a cutoff date, the 30th of December 2020. So meaning that every land that was deforested after this cutoff date and that produces one of the commodities should be excluded from trade. The second requirement is about traceability. So the regulation is very strict on traceability and segregation of products all along the supply chain, and requires an analysis of the plots of lands and plots of lands with GPS tracks and polygons. And the third aspect of the regulation is on the third aspect of the regulation is about legality. So basically, the regulation is requiring that producer and again all the companies along the supply chain as a respect for legality, which includes basically compliance with local laws, labor law, environmental law, etc., etc. And the commodities, so there are 7 commodities that are concerned by the regulation, is cocoa, coffee, timber, rubber, soy, beef, and I'm missing the last one, I think it's palm oil, right? Yes, so in brief, this is how it's going to work. And one of the things was also to kind of like highlight what can be the impact for you. How can you prepare to this new regulation? Obviously, it's a question, and if you can go to the slide of preparation, maybe that's there. Yeah. So basically, what you don't really know how the final and the first importer, this is what is going to do its due diligence, because the process of due diligence, so risk analysis and risk mitigation, will be for each company to have its process to prove compliance with regulation. But what we know for sure is that you will be involved somehow, and what they can require from you is full name, where did you harvest, which part of the country are you producing in, what's your address, what's the name of the company, what's the name of the product, what's the exact quantity of product, because there is this notion of traceability that's very strong in the regulation. And when possible, yes, the exact harvest date, so that they can also integrate it in their due diligence.
What do you think, and maybe we can also open to the public and for the team here, right now, is it something that is a question from your members, for example, for OIA, or from your supply chain, Akima? Is that regulation on the top of your headaches, I would say? And if yes, what are some of the solutions you're putting in place to be ready for December 2024?
Okay, so thank you for that. As I said earlier, we have no choice actually, yeah, to not comply with that. Because, yeah, no business, yeah, to Europe. So what we are doing actually, although in cocoa, yeah, cocoa and coffee, yeah, low risk, yeah, according to our supply chain, low risk on UDR, but we are preparing on that. Maybe can you show the slide number 10? Just to make sure that what we are doing actually, all farmers or supplier supply the bean to us, yeah, need to register in our system, yeah, what we call office, yeah, Olam Farmers Information System there, yeah. In that using that platform actually, all the farmers already get the GPS, yeah, so we know where's the farms. One. Second, we do the polygon, yeah, so we know exactly the size of the farm of each farmers, yeah. And then when they are there, of course, we have to monitor them, yeah. Ke bawah. Dari slide. Yeah, so when go, yeah. Yeah, that one. Yeah, this is the app that I mentioned, Olam Farmers Information System. This is actually not only database, yeah, but mainly one is the database that there is a polygon and a GPS. When they are there, of course, we should monitor, day to day, what is the dynamic of the farm, yeah? Because farmers today there is cocoa there, yeah, tomorrow can be gone. This already become gone. Yeah? That also we need to update our this the database there. This is so therefore we invest a lot how to comply with UDR. Not only training, yeah, but our people in the ground. Yeah. Just to let you know, we have 150 people in the ground. Yeah, there's a lot of youth. Yeah, and Surya, the one who monitor that our team is working to to make it this compliant to UDR. In global, yeah, in global OFI, because our cocoa team sitting in UK, yeah, every week we need to report, yeah, what is the the dynamic of this UDR. This last but not least, of course, yeah, for this data, we need to have third-party proof. Yeah. For example, one is Rainforest Alliance. Yeah. Another one, for example, from Research Institute. Yeah, and also external evaluation from critical, institution. That I think the way how we, comply to UDR. Of course, there's a headache, yeah, but there is no other way to say no. Yeah, the only thing that we need to comply as soon as possible. Yeah, that I think, yeah. Otherwise, we have no business.
No business.
Not only to Europe, because our liquor, our butter, yeah, our powder is from Tangerang go to Singapore, go around the world. We are working in US is bigger than us. Actually. We are only 60 country. You have 100 more. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And maybe also from your members, how is it that you're helping them or working with them through that topic?
Yes, for our AUA, EUDR is something very new, yeah, for us, and which is in other things we really agree with it. It's for sustainability, for better world, for environmental. But in a business, organics, of course, no choices. Yeah, as my mom said, it's more cost and more preparations, and there is many other aspects that will our members will face with this one. But it doesn't mean that it's impossible. It's still possible, and what we need to do in our AOI, we need to collaborate, of course, because as we never can work alone, we need to collaborate, and our officers and department will work closely and learn about this. That will familiarize about this UDR to our members, and maybe we can do some seminars and introduction about this new UDR to our members, especially to our members who are already doing business exporting to other countries. Yeah, that's
Business.
yeah.
There's one remark for Indonesia. Yeah, community mandatory for UDR, coffee, cocoa, soybean, palm oil, and rubber. No, not soybean. Soybean, rubber, and beef. Yeah. So rice and others is not. That is only the 5 commodities that need to comply with the UDR for Indonesia.
And maybe to finish on that topic, and it looks like there are already a couple of solutions in place. Maybe Camille, from your point of view, based in Europe, what are some of the solutions available right now, in addition to everything that is currently done, that could potentially help, the operators, the food processors to comply with that regulation? Are there any insights? And then we are going to open the floor for questions.
So, well, I think for you to comply and to try to catch up with the different requirements, there are several options. So I know there are lots of organizations working on the field with especially smallholders on traceability system, etc. So I think this is this can be of a strong help to work with this organization specifically. And then there is another thing that, I know better for what I do. The scheme, so the different certification schemes are also setting several systems to help you comply. Again, this is part of the due diligence, but for instance, if you are certified against Rainforest Alliance or against FSC, for instance, for timber, for forest, then it shows that you first already have legality requirements, because under all these schemes, the legality is required. Then one of the second thing is that you already have traceability, some traceability check under all these schemes, these two specific basically have a chain of custody approach. So there are already some requirements regarding traceability. And then when you have a certification, whatever is the certification, basically, you are already working with this approach of analyzing the risk and monitoring the risk in your operation, in your farm, etc. So it's already kind of small due diligence process on which the buyer will probably strongly rely, and even more when it's audited. And I would say yes, that's pretty much the main points. The last point is when you are working with a certification, or you have already worked with certification, most of them require you to have an internal control system within, for instance, if it's a group of farmers, etc. And these are also very strong systems that already exist and on which companies in the EU can rely on to build upon their due diligence process. So, well, I think it's the certification is already doing a lot to show how you have already this system in place. And I know this scheme, so Rainforest Alliance or FSC, they are also helping with transferring the data, for instance, along the supply chain under your agreement. Obviously, you need to click on to agree to transfer the data, the polygons, the GPS points. And FSC is also working, for instance, on a blockchain system also to be able to follow up on the data all along the supply chain. And I think it's not the whole story of the due diligence, because certification is not replacing the due diligence, but it's already a strong tool on which the buyer, I think, will build upon to be compliant with this. So maybe you want to complete on that.
Just want to add on that, especially from the perspective of reference science related to the UDR. So we understand that none of the certification scheme or standard that 100% aligned to the UDR requirement. So that's why then, from the Rainforest Alliance point of view, we try to adapt and try to provide more support to our certificate holders, especially for the members that UDR related commodities or UDR impacted commodities, right? Especially from the Indonesian side is coffee and cocoa. So we try to do a couple of things, especially in our systems, that try to include the UDR as the self-selected requirement that it is voluntary for the certificate holder if they want to have it, and we will help them on this with no excuse. We have to make it scaling. So yeah, it is actually to help or to support the smallholders farmers that host their products ready to enter the European market. And in 2024, we are updating our certification system to support, for example, in the farmers level, to deal with the UDR criteria, just like Emil previously mentioned. So there are a couple of things that need to be fulfilled as the requirement, and for the companies, of course, to support evidence, the due diligence.
Okay, terima kasih. Thank you very much. I know we have a iftar and timing to respect, so I want to make sure we give you the opportunity to ask your final question. We're going to come to an end for the session in around 20-25 minutes. But please, we have the time and we have the privilege to have the panelists with us. So are there any questions, especially as we finish this session today on EUDR? There's a lot of back and forth and questions, and it's a change, it's a big change. So feel free to take the opportunity to ask questions to the different panelists. who can potentially give some advice or guidance. Anton as well, if we have questions, making sure from the live stream, if we can get the last set of questions. Anybody in the room? Yes, please.
Thank you. Regarding the UDR regulation, I would like two questions. The first one is it only apply for the supplier or producer of those commodities, the chocolate, coffee, and etc., or also apply to the company who produce the end product, but using those commodities as a raw material, for example, like a chocolate bar, for example. My second question is there any incentive for the producer or supplier who are comply with the regulations? And is there any like punishment for those who doesn't comply? Thank you.
I can maybe take the first of the scope. So the regulation applies to the first importer in the EU. So it means the one that is in contact with the first exporter outside the EU, meaning that, for example, if Olam is importing and is the first importer, Olam will be responsible, but then Olam is selling to Mars. Mars is just responsible. It's just responsible to tell Olam that Olam is responsible, you know? So it won't be the final like Mars, for instance, but it would be Olam, because Olam should respect this regulation before selling to Mars. And well, on the incentive, I don't.
No, incentive to you is actually, no. That's what we ask actually. Yeah, we ask to you to provide an incentive, but there is no answer. Yeah, yes, yeah. We said yeah. Okay, you this regulation very good. Yeah, what kind of incentive do you provide? This is the question still until now. There is no question. There's no answer. Yeah, but in terms of farmers, yeah, we do a lot actually before you was issued. Yeah, certification we have premium fee for farmers. Yeah, training also. Yeah, access to finance. This kind of incentive to the farmer. And then the penalty. Yeah, this is a good question. EU, the penalty is 4% if you are not compliant. 4% of total your revenue globally. Yeah. So that is a huge money actually, like Olam. We have 60 operations in 60 countries. Yeah, you can imagine that. In Asia, in Asia we have 3 factories, one in Indonesia, one in Singapore, one in China. Yeah, that is if that area only, you can imagine 4% of the total revenue.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the direct incentives, going back to the first point, is the market access. If you're not compliant or certified, you're not going to be able to sell your production to Olam, because they will not going to buy from a non-compliant supplier, because you have to comply with the regulation and you don't want to take the risk. So one of the direct incentives is just being able to sell the production. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No. There is that, no? Even from now. Even from now, our customer, they don't want to buy product from us if, for example, without third party guarantee, for example, from Alliance. That's one. Second, yeah, if they ask us to send the list of the customer and we cannot provide that, they will. Even in our portal, in the certification portal of our AXOS, we have AXOS portal, which is customer portal actually. There is a product, there is liquor, there is a bean, there is a powder is there, but if we cannot show that evidence, then the customer will.
Question answer. Any other question in the rooms before we take those from the live stream? Please, this is your last opportunity for today. I know it has been a long day, and again, thank you very much, but are there any other questions on EUDR? No, from the room, so maybe Anton from the live stream?
Yeah, there is two questions related to the organic, the EUDR. So this is the question to Pak Imam. There is many fans of you in the live streaming. And the organic business on large scale is very difficult. What is the key to being able to penetrate the international organic market? This is from Pak Muladianto from Adil Organic Indonesia.
Yes, dear friend, thank you for the question. Because I'm the oldest, I think, here in the organic. I was also in the organic movement with this guy in surrounding Jawa Tengah there with rice. I think also I'm the one who provide organic certification by IMO from Tasikmalaya. There's machine grow there. Okay, so the way that for Olam, Olam is open to work with any small order producer. Yeah, we are open on that. But of course, we as a company, we cannot buy, like, sorry to say, small quantity is not possible. Yeah, in terms of business, cannot make it. That. So if we have small order, we need to unite the group. In our case, for example, the smallest group is 1,000 farmers. Yeah. So in cocoa and coffee, I think that will be same. But again, that farmers is open. Our heart is in farmers. If you see in our slide later, in Cocoa Compass, there is 3 pillars. One is for farmers' productivity, farmers' livelihood. Yeah. We have intention or objective to increase the livelihood of the farmers, living income of the farmers. This is one pillar. Second pillar is to develop the capacity of the community by trying to educate farmers or communities on the child labor and human rights. This is the second pillar. The third pillar is on the forest protection. So that's why we are working a lot on the agroforestry. When talking about agroforestry, not the complicated one. We have model what we call a simple agroforestry. Because we want to focus the cocoa and farmers income. So farmers can grow chili, can grow anything under the cocoa when they have a small cocoa during the replanting. That can be organic also. There. For example, like patchouli. But the problem that when the patchouli price high, and then they will cut the cocoa. That is what we are sometimes worried with the farmers. I think I hope that answering the question. We are open to work with any farmers, any small order producer. While organic only for cocoa, only for coffee, maybe cinnamon and spices we can do. But for cocoa, so far we don't have customers who really willing to buy organic butter or organic liquor, organic powder, for cocoa. That I think. Thank you.
No more question from the live stream? No? No more question from the audience? No? There is another one?
Yeah, there is the second question. This is also from the live streaming. The question is, what the Alliance can do for organic farmers in Indonesia when we know the EU organic is more tight right now? What we can do with any international body?
Yeah, in Indonesia Organic Alliance, we have 3 category members from individual, group, like a cooperative, also processor like as a private company. And we only have a few private companies, and they assist the farmers and also to meet them they need, especially for aiming. So cooperative with the private sector, we will try to train the farmer to suitable with the aiming need. Like, because it's just a few private companies, and we still have a hard work to collaboration between farmer and the private company with our association.
Okay, more question. Thank you very much. So I think we're going to conclude this session. I just would like to maybe make a quick summary of what we have heard today. There were some feedback on the challenges and the complexity around regulation that were shared into the organic and sustainable farming. I think they were mentioned some of the financial challenges as well, not only the regulations, the technicality, but also the financial. We are talking about the soft loans that are potentially difficult to get, and maybe not enough support from those who may have the power to make regulations. So need more support for the government. But with all of this, I also heard a lot of positive hope and positive messages for the future. You talked about the growth of the domestic market year on year. So this means that the consumers also are changing behaviors here in Indonesia, and we see also this happening in the rest of the world. But the fact that the domestic market is growing by nature is already fantastic. I think what was discussed and also with Pak Agung, the positive impact, it's proven. The positive impact of organic and sustainable farming is proven, having a positive impact to the local community, to the livelihood of those communities. So when we start collecting those data and making them known, again, to the decision makers, change will come and they will be supporting. And finally, to me and hopefully to you, to see that room full of operators who have made the commitment and the transition to organic and sustainable farming. I think 100 plus people who joined and took on their Friday afternoon to be into this live stream, to see all of you sitting here, from the Organic Alliance, from the OLAM as a key client and part of the supply chain, the scheme owners, Rainforest Alliance, certification body, to have everybody together, having this willingness to work as a team, to work as one, to unite. I think the word unite has been used. This is the hope that we can really see happening here in Indonesia. And that's how I really would like to finish this session today on those words of hope. The topic was about the future of organic and sustainable agriculture in Indonesia. And clearly, despite all the challenges you guys have come across so far, and there is definitely bright news and bright trends for the future. So with this, on behalf of ECOCERT, I would like to thank you everyone for taking on your day, on your Friday, to be with us here in this room, to be with us on the live stream. A big thank you to all our panelists and for sharing openly their expertise and answering your question. Thank you for the technical team, despite a bit of some sound issues, but we were able again to overcome those challenges as usual, and that's a big thank you to all of you. So terima kasih. What's going to happen now is we are going to be here. If you have any question that you don't want to ask in public, you can gently come to us and ask the question. And we are going to have iftar served I think it's 610 or 6, no? What? 610. I was right with information. It's going to be on the 33rd floor, 3-3. There is a rooftop bar, beautiful view of on the ocean and on the city. And the dinner will be served, and we hope we can continue the discussion all together over there. Again, thank you very much for the panelists. Big round of applause. Thank you everyone for making the time. It's really appreciated. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.